Hey, what is happening, people? Woodsy Workout here to give you a little update on what is going on in the Hyrox world. So I wanted to make this video because I think there's a lot of exciting stuff going on with the elite athletes, and I think that because there's not a lot of visual media coverage, people don't really know the elite athletes, and I think Hyrox themselves don't do a great job at kind of explaining who they are and their background. I know Greg at Rox Life, he does a great job of providing current news and stats throughout the year. And then the guys on Race Brain and ORM podcast, they do a lot of great discussions around the sport. So if after this video you want to kind of know a bit more about some of these individuals, then go and check those guys out. But I thought I'd do my part in sort of giving some background as to who's who in the Hyrox world. Then in the last part of this video, I will kind of talk about who to look out for in the next upcoming races, because we've got two races this weekend, Dallas and Barcelona, with some key names that are looking to kind of shake up the rankings. So on the women's side, you have Lauren Weeks, Michaela Norman and Meg Jacoby. These are kind of the big three that have really jumped out this year. Each of them have, each of them have beaten each other at these races. So there's definitely no clear favourite. Lauren Weeks is ranked first. She has been in the sport for a few years now and been pretty dominant, winning multiple championships. And last year she was pregnant for the 2022 World Championships, but she actually still competed and took 9th in the world. But now she's back on top form with a win in the European Championships. She likes to come out hard. Her running may not be the fastest, but she can hold a very fast pace even when compromised. And she can do the wall balls unbroken, so nothing to mess with there. Her weak spot would probably be the farmer carries, with the extra turning that's required in the grid, the lane format. She does put the kettlebells down, so if there's any kind of chance to take her is probably on the farmer carries. Michaela Norman from Sweden is new to the Hyrox scene. She is a competitive CrossFit athlete and she competed in the team division and made it all the way to the CrossFit Games. She took Hyrox by storm, setting a women's world record earlier on this year, and has proved that it was no fluke by taking second in the European Championships and then first in the North American Championships. She's one of the taller athletes in the field and a very proficient rower. She has no clear weakness other than she's new to the sport. So she's lost to Lauren at the Euros, but then it was also flipped when she won North American Championships. So I think just kind of executing is key for her. Meg Jacoby from America, another new face in the sport. She has a track running background and she's not afraid of the weight room, but you should be afraid of her because she is a little bit of a weapon when it comes to the Hyrox course. And I believe we haven't really seen her full potential yet. She's one of the faster runners and she can crank on lunges and wall balls. She's made a few mistakes in previous races with like lap counting. So I think if she can put all these pieces together, she can definitely take a win. In number 4, we have Miriam von Rohe from Switzerland. She is, I think, the youngest in the field, but plenty of racing experience. She finished third at World Champs last year and fifth at the Euros this year. She is one of the shorter athletes, which gives her maybe a little bit of a disadvantage on the rower, but she makes up for it with a blistering cycle speed on the lunges and the wall balls. She currently has the world record wall ball time of 2:55, under 3 minutes for 100 wall balls is just pretty insane. So you know that if she's in the mix by the time you get to that last station, she can deliver a killer blow there. Ranked fifth, we have Linda Meyer from Germany. She's finished second at World Championships last year and started this season with 2 back-to-back world record races. So she came out flying, and then that was then broken by Meg and Michaela. A lot of this year, definitely the women have upped their game. A lot of records being broken. She's got plenty of Hyrox experience since her first race in 2019. However, she did struggle with the most recent North American Championships, finishing 10th. If she can get back into that groove that she was at the start of the season, she will definitely be one to watch. And then number 6, ranked 6th, I was gonna make it a top 5, but I couldn't not talk about Alondra Greenlee. She's an American who finished 4th at World Championships last year, and then again at Euros and again at North American Championships. 3 4th place finishes in the last 3 major races. And although she doesn't have the fastest qualifying time, she's proved that she can do some damage on those the big races on the grid, and she can definitely take a podium spot if one of those top 3 kind of have any mishap. She'll be there to snatch their position. Before we get on to the men, I just want to give a quick mention to my latest challenge. I am setting myself the target of 1,000 meters of burpee broad jumps if I can get to 1,000 subscribers. So best believe I'm gonna earn every subscriber. So if you do like the content, please subscribe, and then you can watch me suffer through plenty of burpees. Also check out my website where you can find plenty of Hyrox info. There's a Hyrox Training Principles ebook to help level up your Hyrox training, and then you can support the channel as well. Right, now on to the men. Number 1, we have Alexander Ronkovic. Alex is an Austrian athlete and has a swimming background. He's been one of the more consistently well-performing athletes. He finished 2nd at World Championships in 2018 and in 2021. And he's always been in and around the podium, but this year he's really stepped up and has the fastest time of the season, as well as a first place finish in the European Championships this year. He's not a front runner. You can expect him to be kind of in the mix early, and then as people fade, he maintains with a strong row, strong farmer carries and the lunges. You'll see him sort of take that front position. In number 2, you've got Tim Venish from Germany. I believe he's the youngest in the elite field, but he has been competing in Hyrox since pretty much its kind of inception, and he's just got better and better every year. Last year, he finished 4th at the World Championships, and this year he took 2nd at the European Championships and 6th at North American Championships. He's one of the smaller athletes, but still handles the sleds well, and he's a fast runner, so look for him to be flying off the start line and making moves on the runs. In number 3, we have Michael Sambach from the UK. He has a background in football. He started Hyrox a year and a half ago. He's a taller, bigger athlete, so he's got a lot of power. And for someone who isn't a runner as such, he holds a very decent pace. In the last 2 major races, Sambach has come out aggressive. He's fought to the front, but not managed to hold the lead and finished third in both the Euros and the North American Championships. Wall balls have been a real weak spot for him, even from the beginning, causing him to drop out of past races. He has struggled with them at Euros, and although he has been better in Chicago, if he can just get past that last hurdle, I think he's got a really good chance of success. Number 4, we have David Magida. He is an American athlete with an obstacle racing background. His Hyrox career has been kind of up and down. He has had past success, finishing 4th at Hyrox American Championships in 2021, but then kind of fell off the top spots after missing the elite qualification last year, which I kind of think is due to the Hyrox qualifying system, but we're not going to get into that. But this year, even at the Euros, he didn't have a great race. He finished 8th. So it was then quite a surprise to see him win the North American Championships pretty convincingly just last month in Chicago. He's a well-built, big athlete and a very strong runner. If he can get his race strategy right, he can definitely win. But I think kind of what might be his downfall with the World Championships is kind of past rivalries, and if he gets sucked into trying to compete with other athletes. So if he can just run his own race, then I think, he's definitely in with a chance of the top spot. In number 5, you have Dylan Scott, the hybrid raccoon from America. He is a young athlete with a lot to say, calling out Europeans. But he ran cross country through school, but now is kind of known for his crazy workouts and sheer volume of training that he puts in. He's not the strongest or fastest, but he's very consistent and is steadily getting better, with a 2nd place at the North American Championships this year. Look for him to kind of start out steady towards the back and then close as the race continues. Number 6, again, I couldn't leave this athlete out. Ryan Kent, an American with a background in running and is a very experienced obstacle course racer. Last year, he beat Hunter McIntyre at North American Championships and then finished 2nd to him at World Championships. He won Decafit World Championships recently, but in terms of Hyrox, it's been a bit of a slow start for him this season. He only got through to North American Championships on a roll down. Again, I think it's a flawed system, but he came out too hot in the North American Championships and slid to 7th. However, his most recent race in Houston, he got a 56.52, which is the 2nd fastest time of the season, showing he's still a force to be reckoned with. So look out for Ryan. He'll probably be leading the pack. He likes to come out. He likes to lead, so he'll be leading early. And if he's unchallenged, he'll hold on for that win. So those are the current top 6, but the season is not over yet. This weekend we have Barcelona and Dallas, and we have the much anticipated return of Hunter McIntyre, last year's world champion and the current world record holder. Hunter announced he wasn't going to compete in Hyrox this year and would be pursuing other endeavors, including an Ironman and paddle sport racing thing. However, he has had a change of heart and has said he will be back, and everyone better watch out. He is supposedly racing in Barcelona. Hopefully I will confirm this. I am going to the Builder Fitness competition today in London, so you can check that out on my Instagram. But the real question is, has he left it too late to prep? Are the field of athletes that much better this year, or will he still be the most dominant Hyrox athlete? We will see. Other names to look out for this weekend. Rich Ryan, the people's favourite, is looking to get a qualifying time for the Elite 15. He finished 7th at World Championships last year. And he also shares a lot of awesome content around Hyrox, so check out his podcast. Joffrey Voisin is another top Elite 15 competitor that is currently on the cusp, so looking for a fast time to secure his place. And then on the women's side, Camilla Massa and Sabrina Rotig and Carolina Silva, hopefully I'm pronouncing those right. They are upcoming athletes competing this weekend, all with a chance of shaking up the women's rankings, as well as Felicity Cole, our top UK athlete. She's currently ranked 13th, so best of luck to her too. So hopefully that's given you a bit more insight into the elite athletes in the Hyrox world. Let me know your thoughts if you like this video. If you have someone that you're rooting for, drop a comment, and let's get some interest going around the World Championships for Manchester. Remember, subscribe to make me do 1,000 burpees, and drop me a message on Instagram at WoodseyWorkout if you are interested in training for Hyrox. Otherwise, I will see you in the next one.